This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
Welcome in to Sports Source Wild. I'm Bob Hodge, along with Joe Justice. And before we get into today's topic, which a lot of people find a little bit controversial, I want to ask you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave some comments, and if you're a turkey hunter, Joe, this may be a show that you want to comment on.
It is turkey season. I mean, everybody should be like in turkey mode right now.
And turkey mode includes all the ways that people like to hunt. We've done a show about decoys before, and we've talked about some states and how their
Some of the calls. We talked about different types of calls.
We've talked about different types of calls. Well, here's what we're going to talk about today. I don't even have to say what it is. All I need to do is show it, because this drives a lot of turkey hunters almost to madness.
It does.
The sheer fact that I'm sitting here with a gobbler's tail, and I've got a tail,
a fan
that goes with the gobblers. Well, we'll use fan,
right.
Turkey tail. So first, I'm going to give the tail of the tail, because it's not something that I've done a lot. But go back to a recent Saturday, turkey hunting with my son, private property in Greenville. You've hunted the place before.
Yep.
You know the layout.
Yep.
Tons of big fields, some hardwood ridges.
Pretty open.
And we were having a pretty rough day of it. The birds quit gobbling real early, and we got to about lunchtime and had not heard a bird in 3 or 4 hours, just trying to decide what are we going to do. And we were hunting a part of the farm where there's a food plot, there's some ridges, got some big trees, goes up the top at the property line. Some birds had hit the ground that morning and moved off the property, so we couldn't go chasing after them or anything. There was a line there that says, nope, this is where you got to stop. So I told him while we were having our little lunch break, I said, tell you what, I'm just going to go walk the back of the farm, see if I see anything. So I'm walking, I'm checking around the hills, I'm checking over the rises, I'm looking, and these are huge fields. These aren't little 1 acre fields. These are fields that are 50, 60 acres.
Oh yeah, or bigger.
And so I get to an old fence row, check on one side of it, nothing. Go up a hill, look over into another corner, and by golly, there are 5 birds. And called my son, and I said, get down here. There's 5 of them out in the field. And I said, bring the turkey tail.
Right.
So it took him a few minutes because we were taking a break, throws all this stuff on. He comes down, and I'm laying down. The birds are probably 70, 80 yards away. They haven't seen me.
So did you crawl to them?
No. Did not crawl. Hunter came to me, sat down beside me. I'm kind of laying prone on the ground watching him. He brought the turkey tail. The birds are just picking, and I showed them this. And they saw it, and they closed the distance close enough for him to get a shot, killed a bird.
Sometimes they can't resist that fan.
So the question is this. Would you consider that, and the phrase for everybody is reaping. When you take a fan and you move on turkeys, you're reaping turkeys. Well, we just kind of sit there. So were we reaping? Did we get smart and do something that really helped us? Or did we, even though perfectly legal on private land, now you can't do this on public land in Tennessee, but on private land you can sit there and hold up that turkey tail. What do you think?
I don't know. There's kind of different definitions of this, or different levels of this, okay? So I would consider what you did, you fanned that bird in, right? To me, reaping is taking one of these mobile decoys, and you've even got the compact fan that you can fold up and stick in your vest or stick inside the decoy. You attach it to the back, and then you can actually get behind this, move through the field. I've got holes cut out in it where I can see, and you move toward the turkey, and it's an aggressive move. To me, that's reaping. Sitting here beside the tree and nobody's doing anything, and he's 75 yards and he's kind of not listening, and you show him the fan. To me, that's kind of fanning. It's a little bit of a different level of reaping. So
See,
I've done all three, I guess. I don't.
And I sit there and you go on message boards and you go to turkey hunting sites, and I have read people that this is just the most horrible thing in the world, whereas I thought once again I'm laying down, and there's not going to be any way to pull this off if both of us try to set up and shoot. So I told Hunter he's going to either get a shot or he's not going to get a shot. And so I'm laying there and I just do this. Didn't crawl, didn't move, did nothing.
So I would call that fanning him. You fanned him.
And I have never done the reaping thing, and for a simple reason. I've got bad knees. I can't crawl anywhere.
Right.
I can barely bend over these days. So it worked, and I was happy it worked. Hunter was happy it worked. Was it a conventional turkey hunt? No, it wasn't.
Well, I mean, now that's the way a lot of guys, some guys only hunt that way. I'm not that guy. I would rather go no decoys, just a call, not really run and gun, but go set up and try to kill a turkey. I will use decoys. I will use blind. I have fanned. I have kind of reaped. Normally, when I do it, it's similar to you. You spot turkeys.
Did you sow what you reap? No, hold it. Did you reap what you
sow?
No, reap what you reap.
Okay, well.
Oh, we're confusing us and everybody.
A lot of times you do. There's just an innate response in the gobblers. It has made those big field gobblers that were unkillable, that just stood out there and looked at you, it has made them killable. And so I'm not sure my feelings on that. I've done it. It's not my go-to method. I'm not going to set out and reap all day. 95% of the time, that's not even in my truck. But if I go out west, or if I know I got big fields and I have the opportunity, I'm going to do it.
Well, where Hunter and I were at, you've been there with us before. It's some friends of ours. It's their property. And you know how big it is. You know how wide open it is, because typically, I don't know about this year because all the recent flooding and so forth and so on up there in Greene County, but this is soybean fields. So they're big, wide open. There is
they can see you forever.
Anywhere. And when we were up there the week before, I told Hunter, I said, let's bring a turkey fan with us. Well, we had one, and it stayed in the truck the entire day. So when we went back, we took it with us with my full intent. If the opportunity arose, I was going to use it. So that's the reason it stayed in the truck all morning. Don't even think about it. But when I saw those birds out in that field, when I first saw them probably 120 yards off, luckily they didn't see me.
I was going to say, dang, you got close to them in the field.
Well, I mean, I saw them and I hit the deck. I mean, got down, got low. There was a little old fence row, so it kind of probably gave me a little bit of shielding. But it just seemed like this is the perfect time for this. And it is only the second time that I've done it. I personally have no guilty conscience about this whatsoever. Because if I had gotten down and had been joined by Hunter and hit a mouth call a couple of times and those birds still came up and got within range, I just don't see how it's that greatly different. I really don't. But yet, some people are going to watch this, and please, if you watch, leave your comments. Hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Leave your comments and say, no. This is cheating. This is cheating. I just don't see it as cheating. I see it as turkey hunting. We talked about decoys early. I don't have a problem with decoys. I also don't have a problem with not using decoys.
Well, I mean, decoys in themselves, and also the strutter decoy, fanning, reaping, have made turkey hunting a lot easier. It's a lot easier. You don't need the skill of the call. You don't need to know when to call or how to call. You can just use these. You can just fan a bird in, not even call one time, and kill them. So, I mean, there's different levels to it. Am I going to do it? If I need to, I want to pull it out of my toolbox. I'm not going to set out to do it. I don't know. I got kind of mixed feelings about it. Sometimes they cannot resist it. If you get more than, let's say, 2 to 3 gobblers together, they're probably going to come. A lot of times you have one bird, maybe 2 birds, they may bump off of it and shy. But it just triggers an aggressive response in them, and I've seen them come from forever.
Well, it worked. In this case, it worked well. Now, they didn't come running. They just were interested enough to come and look.
Come check it out.
And that was, for one of them, that was the fatal mistake. So anyway, if you don't like this, like we said, let us know about it. If you do, hey, a lot of people out there, like you said, this is how you hunt now.
Yeah.
So hear from those people too, because everybody's got to say so. So
you see a lot of it on YouTube and a lot of it on these reels and different things like that.
As a matter of fact, I probably see more of this watching YouTube videos of fanning, people using fans, people reaping, that sort of thing, than I do people sitting up against the tree and calling and waiting for the bird to come in.
Yeah, I see more of it on like TikTok and the short reels and everything. Those guys are really pumping it out there. And I mean, I know people that don't even really know how to call. This is what they do. So
You're talking about me, aren't you?
It's a transition. We've gone
I like
from.
the way you ignored that.
We got. I plead the fifth.
This episode of Sports Source Wild is brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. If you're talking about habitat work all across the state, or Hunters for the Hungry, where you can donate your deer meat, the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Joe, where can you find them at?
Bob, that's tnwf.org for more info. It's just been a transition. We've evolved over with the blinds, the decoys, and now the decoys are so realistic. Now we got this. So we're progressing, and I don't know.
No, we'll find out where it ends up. But once again,
well, I'm glad Hunter killed his bird.
I did this and have no remorse. So anyway, please, once again, like, subscribe, and as always, thank you to the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Like I've said, great people doing great work as far as restoring habitat, feeding hungry people, Hunters for the Hungry during deer season. They're into lots of things. They even are down there in Nashville helping it out to hunters and fishermen when the legislature gets together. Joe, talk to you later.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy turkey season.